Hangin with Hester.
3rd and goal at the 2.5. Flynn under center. Hester straight ahead. He is in for the score!
Hangin with Hester with Jacob Hester. Wall-to-wall football.
I have not seen a gutsier performance by a Tiger running back, maybe ever.
Now, Hangin with Hester with Jacob Hester on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Yo! Welcome in, Hangin with Hester, presented by Richard Honda, here with Hunt, Cade, and Paul O'Neill on a Thursday afternoon. Hunt Palmer, how you doing, sir?
Well, after the show, I was supposed to go to the beach. I'm not going anymore. I'm going to go to Chicago and wash all the dishes for the Cubs.
Why don't you tell that story real quick as we were talking about it right before we came on air?
The Cubs have reported for one day, and my fourth starter lacerated his thumb, his pitching thumb, washing the dishes. This is the worst year ever.
Happy wife, happy life. Got to do those dishes,
What?
Hunt.
We're paying him way too much anyway. Get a dishwasher. Are there no maids in Chicago?
I'm not touching that. And by the way, I think he did it back home in Florida.
Are there no maids in Florida? Put a hazmat suit on. Come help him clean the dishes. Unbelievable.
So, there was two things that you wanted to talk about. We'll get to the second part here in a second. Just to preview the show, Ben McDonald is going to join us in the next break. He was just named to the greatest all-time college baseball team by ESPN as the right-handed pitcher on the team. Ben McDonald's on that squad. You've got Alex Bregman on that squad and Todd Walker as well. So 3 LSU Tigers.
Yeah, very well represented, not surprisingly, being it's one of the most decorated programs in the history of the sport. I personally would have put Aaron Nola ahead of Ben McDonald on that list. Ben McDonald threw harder. He struck more guys out, but Aaron Nola, I think, consistently, for me, even though I didn't see Ben.
Because you didn't see Ben.
Right, sure. And he was playing in a totally different era with electric bats. I get it.
And for me, it's like, so what I did growing up was I watched the local guy. I watched Todd Walker. He was from across the river in Bossier. He went to Airline, and so I paid attention to him. So for me, there's like no better college baseball hitter ever than Todd Walker. So, some of that has to depend on, when you watched him and how you viewed him as well.
He deserves to be on that list for sure. I think you could make a case for Eddie Furness for sure. And I think another guy that if you're looking to maybe have a discussion, Brad Cressy, but you're dealing with some studs on that list with Adley Rutschman and Buster Posey and some of those guys.
Where's Pete Incaviglia? Where's he at?
As long as Robin Ventura's on the list,
that's true.
That's really all that matters.
They were both studs.
I think Ventura is probably the best hitter ever in college baseball.
I'm going Todd Walker, but again, back to our original point.
A little bit of bias.
Barry Bonds at Arizona State was on that list.
He was pretty good.
My high school baseball coach was teammates with him at Arizona State, so he would tell the legends of Barry Bonds.
Some of those guys hitting with metal bats is a scary, scary proposition.
Oh, can you imagine? Imagine Barry Bonds with a metal bat. Even J.D. Drew. Do you remember him at Florida State? He's
Absolutely.
on this list. Buster Posey, I remember, he literally played everything for Florida State. I mean, there's so many studs on this list. So for LSU to get 3 guys on this list, that's truly incredible.
Yeah, and look, you can absolutely make the case for all 3 of those guys. And it's a program littered with history. We're lucky. It's something that people care about around here, and we're usually pretty good.
All right, something else that you wanted to talk about, and of course we'll have more on that list when Ben McDonald jumps on with us in the next segment. You came in fired up that Texas A&M got slapped on the wrist. I was going to talk about it later, but you wanted to talk about it right off the top.
Well, look, Jimbo has violated some recruiting rules, a little bit too many hours in the office. Personally, I think the death penalty is in order for that. I just don't think that you can keep the football program afloat in College Station when they're flagrantly cheating like this and been caught. So, personally, I think that they should have disbanded the program. However, he cannot go off campus to recruit until December. I don't even know if that's a penalty because no one can leave campus at the moment anyway. So, no bowl ban, no loss of scholarships. He just can't go off campus to recruit in the fall, and I don't even know if anybody's doing that. So.
As part of the show clause, Fisher is also required to issue a public statement addressing the NCAA violations, some other penalties.
I'm sure he'll spend a lot of time putting that together.
Yeah.
I'm certain no secretary will put that together.
Some other penalties, 1-year probation, like you mentioned, a fine of $5,000.
Oh, wow.
A lot of money in College
Station. $100 million contract, and he's giving away $5,000.
A reduction in football official visits by 17 days during the 2019 and 2020 academic year.
Again, no one can come on campus now anyway, so.
You mentioned the off-campus recruiting ban for the entire football coaching staff for November 2019, which reduced the evaluation days from the 2019 and 2020 academic year by 19, blah, da, 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 da. So it keeps going on and on with the things that you mentioned, and the university ended its recruitment of the prospect that they got in trouble with, and you can't go to his high school for a set amount of time as well. So
I should be
major here.
the head of the committee on infractions. That's really what it boils down to. I should be the heavy hand.
What are you bringing? Everything?
Yeah, they're done.
Fury?
That's it.
SMU, death penalty.
Yeah. I don't like A&M, and I'm the head of the committee, so they get a terrible penalty for cheating, flagrantly, I might add.
But there's any year to ever get a slap on the wrist where you can't go out and you can't do some things out there in the field, if you will, until the end of November. I mean, this is the year, because let's remember we're in a dead period till August 31st. So.
Make him coach with a mask on. Players can't understand him.
Jimbo talks kind of fast anyway, so he's already hard enough to understand. All right, so you happy? I let you have your Texas A&M right there at the top.
I'm kind of loopy today. I'm not kind of. It's another Thursday, second one in a row, where I've backed into my parking spot in the parking lot so I can hit the road and go to the beach after this.
That's not good. It's not good when you're on vacation at 1:06 and you don't get off until 3.
Well, it's not like I'm sitting here like doing data entry. We're just having a conversation. I feel like I can do that.
You can do it, but it's still not good. That's where your brain is already a couple Coronas deep on the beach right now.
Well, there won't be any Coronas.
Well, Bud Light.
There will be some of those.
Yeah, so
they've already been purchased, I'm told, which I'm thrilled
you've
about.
backed into the parking space. Is that something you commonly do?
I've only done it the last 2 Thursdays, just as kind of a metaphor of like, all right, we're rolling. I've already filled it up with gas. We're packed. I've actually got an ice chest packed in the car already. Like we're locked and loaded.
What you got in that ice chest?
Well, I got a little chicken salad, and then there's a few Bud Lights.
Wait, you've got chicken salad sitting in your hot ass car?
No, it's on ice. In an ice chest.
On ice, but did you feel you could cut the air with a knife today?
I think that's the point of the ice chest.
You better have a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It can.
What's it, the Arctic?
Yeah,
sports products.
Exactly.
There you go.
I got it from them. And it like.
Oh, that's actually a really nice one.
I know, and it sits on the beach all day and nothing gets hot. I'm not too concerned about it.
It's hotter in the car than it is the beach.
That's correct. But I need when I go to the beach, I need some Calvin's chicken salad. Like, that's just the way it goes. And I get some wheat thins, and we're good.
Sounds really disgusting. But moving on, Kromm Brown. We talked about him yesterday from Ocean Lakes up there in Virginia Beach, Virginia. He was somebody who Shea Dixon. We went like almost 30 minutes with Shea yesterday, and he put his crystal ball prediction in for Brown. Of course, he commits to LSU. 6'3", 205-pound defensive end. The number 11 weak side defensive end in the country, 194th overall, number 7 in the state of Virginia. Another tall, lean body at defensive end. There's a transition here. They are starting to recruit speed guys on the edge. Now you've got bigger defensive tackles, right? You've got Tyler Shelvin. They're going to take up more space. They're going to be the run stuffers. You don't necessarily have to have the Kirsten Pittmans, the Tyson Jacksons that Bo Pelini had when he was here the first time, right? Your bigger 280-pound defensive ends. It seems like LSU's really wanting to get that speed back on the edge. Kiki Mingo, Sam Montgomery, they weren't the biggest defensive ends, but they were coming off the edge like their hair was on fire every single time, and it feels like that's what LSU wants to be again.
You can identify trends like this throughout different staffs and on different positions. I mean, I can go back to a time where LSU was recruiting basically nothing but 6'3" long-armed receivers from Dupree, Doral, Chark, D. Anderson, Stephon Sullivan. I mean, time and time again, you were getting really tall, athletic wide receivers. Corey Raymond has made no mince no words, saying, look, we're going to get corners with long arms that have range. Like we're not recruiting a bunch of 5'9", 5'10" corners. We want guys that are 6 feet tall, 6'1", and that's you go find Cardell Flott. That wasn't the biggest recruit in the country, but he fits what they want, and he's already shown up and done a great job. So in this case, yeah, you're right. I think there's been a priority on getting guys on the edge that are a little leaner, that are a little more athletic. I mean, you can make the case against that. You can make the case for it, but they've committed to it, and they're going to go recruit to it.
He doesn't stay. Brown's not going to stay at 205 pounds. No. We all know that. Once he gets here, he's going to add weight, and so he's not going to play there, but he's still going to be a lean 6'3", 215, 220 pounds, whatever they deem necessary. Savion Jones.
Be bigger than that. That sounds like a wide receiver. 6'3", 215.
You can put 20 good pounds on a frame, a 6'3" frame. There's no doubt. But you're not going to sit there and he's not going to add 35 pounds.
Yeah.
For sure, not in year one, right?
No, well, no.
I mean, we've been talking about Miles Brennan's weight for 4 years now, right? I mean, he's got the nickname the Slim Reaper, for goodness sakes. And
Yeah.
so his weight's been talked about, and you want to do it the right way, right? You have to do it the right way. You can't just throw 15 pounds, 25 pounds, whatever that number is. It's got to be overtime, and it's got to be done the right way. Now, it's set up now to do that way better than it was back when I was playing. I mean, you got nutritionists, you got the dining hall over at the facility, so it can be done, but it's going to take some time. I think Savion Jones, 6'5", 240, that's what they want everybody to look like, right? The commit from St. James, that's kind of the mold, and they're trying to get some of these lean 6'3", 6'4 guys to be close to that weight, but still have that speed, have that athleticism. Landon Jackson from Texarkana, another weak side defensive end, 6'6", 238 pounds. So there's a mold, Hunt. There's a mold of what they want. It is not a 280-pound defensive end anymore, back when Bo Pelini had his first stint with LSU.
I just went and looked up Sam Montgomery's, what he was listed at. Now, this is as a junior, and I realize it's a little bit different, but what do you think he probably was listed at?
Listed 240?
6'5", 260.
Ain't no way. If he was 260 at LSU, I'm 6'1".
Yeah, I don't think he was 260 either.
There's no shot.
And I don't know that he was 6'5". I interviewed him a lot of times. I don't remember him being huge, but he may have been.
I think more of the mold of Kiki Mingo is what they're going for. You mentioned, Corey Raymond wanting long arm DBs. I think that's what they want off the edge. When you're playing these spread teams, when you're playing a John Rice Plumlee, right? You want to have a defensive end that has the athleticism. Remember when Texas A&M came here and Money Manziel was making everybody look foolish, right? He'd run around and he'd get to the edge and he'd make plays. We tried to do that against LSU, and the defensive ends were faster than him, and they were waiting on him every single time. I think that's what they want to get to. They want to have a defense that, from the interior of their defensive front, pushes the pocket up the field, and they have definitely got that with Shelvin and Glenn Logan and others. And then they want the defensive ends that are coming off the edge with speed, and it's a certain length that they want. It's a certain speed that they want. So Brown is just the latest commitment from LSU football to be in that 6'3", 6'4", 215, 225-pound mold until he gets here with Tommy Moffitt.
We had Mingo at 6'5", 240 at the end, but when he got here, he was 205, 210 for sure.
LSU, man, they keep doing a fantastic job of staying on the recruiting trail even during this dead period. I told you, personality is going to show up in this year's recruiting class. You've got to have it. You have to have the parents and the student athletes trust to get them to commit to you when they have not yet even stepped foot on your campus. It is a hell of a job to recruit a young man and a family to come to LSU when you've never even really seen it. Or if you have seen it, it was at a camp when you were out on the field and you haven't had a chance to even do the whole tour thing, right? Because we know student athletes right now from the high school ranks cannot come on campus. And so this year, more than any other year, you better let that personality show, and you better be able to get that relationship and that trust built up. And we've talked about it. First-year coaches, they are behind the 8 ball right now because they have not had the opportunity to build that trust through these summer camps, through the junior days, and through the boys from the boot. Everybody has those, right? Mississippi, Florida, all these states and different schools have the same junior day with guys from their state. So it's a very important recruiting class. And if your coach does well this year, I think that's a big positive and a big plus because it shows that he can do it no matter what. And student athletes and parents are committing to him. Even though you're not supposed to, they're committing to your coach and not just the program.
And that's probably very safe to do at this point. When you're coming off the best year in the history of the sport, you're not going anywhere, and that's obvious. And if you've got guys who are coming off, rocky year, they're on the hot seat, and you ask questions. That doesn't exist in Baton Rouge. It's as solid as you can be, and that's a good thing.
Inside the Bayou Ford Huddle, Bama will out-recruit LSU yet again. Right now, when you look at the rankings, and I've talked about it, Alabama right now, and they've gained some steam. There's no doubt about that, but they were in the 40s a couple weeks ago. Now they're starting to get some of the recruits that we have seen them get in the past, but normally they are way ahead of everyone else as far as numbers and as far as who they are getting. Now, they are in the teens right now. They were at 14 last time I checked. They've got 2 5-star commitments. They've got 6 4-stars, and they got 2 3-stars. But normally they are at the top. They are in the top 3, and they have normally would have had 17 commitments at this point. And so right now they are trying to figure out how do they recruit during this period. And they're not the only SEC school. The Auburn Tigers are at 25th in the country. Texas A&M, who we just talked about, and we kind of joked about getting a slap on the wrist. They're 27th in the national recruiting rankings, only a couple spots ahead of Arkansas. So there's some teams that are trying to figure out how to recruit, and they're not getting the numbers that they typically get at this point in recruiting. I realize December's still a long ways away, but right now these teams are normally farther ahead than they are right now.
Look, you would expect Alabama to surge after a huge VRBO Citrus Bowl victory over the 9-4 Michigan Wolverines. You would think that would lead into a dominant recruiting
It's not
period.
the Overton?
No, it's the VRBO
Okay.
Citrus Bowl. They beat Michigan 35-16. That's a huge win for them, and I think that you're going to see that on the recruiting show. You're going to see the fruits of that victory in the Citrus Bowl pay off.
VRBO, is that like a Airbnb?
Yeah, rental
Okay.
deal.
All right. Congratulations.
Yeah, the Tide. That's a huge win for them.
All right, we'll take our break. When we come back, we'll be joined by LSU legend, LSU All-American, longtime Major League Baseball pitcher, now part of the SEC network. He's got a longer bio than most people I know because he's that good. Ben McDonald hops on with us when we come back. Hang with Hester.
Hangin' with Hester with Jacob Hester. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hey, Richards Honda is constantly looking for smart ways to make things easier for you. So we created our buy from home option. It's the easiest, most convenient way to shop for a car, all from the comforts and safety of your own home. Just log on to richardshonda.com, click on the buy from home button, and with a few simple steps, your new or pre-owned car will be ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. It's fast, easy, and smart. Try it today at richardshonda.com.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Divorce is hard. Divorce is messy. Divorce is exhausting. The law offices of O.C. Brown walked me through my divorce and helped me find the right solution for me, my kids, my finances, and my property.
Call the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors. It's the law.
Hey, T-Bob, sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans, so we're highlighting the fans that do it the most.
Every week, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out, 1045ESPN.com.
It's the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, welcome back to Hangin' with Hester with Jacob Hester. 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge, 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. Hanging with Hester, presented by Richards Honda, here with Hunt Palmer on a Thursday afternoon. Excited to welcome on to the show former LSU legend, Oriole, Brewer, now part of the SEC Network, ESPN, and also does a fantastic job there with the Baltimore Orioles. Ben McDonald joins the show. Ben, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm excited to be hanging with Hester today, so I'm all fired up about it.
Hey, I'm excited to have you on. And before we get started, man, congratulations, ESPN's greatest all-time college baseball team as the right-handed pitcher representative there.
Yeah, I tricked him again. You know, you can only trick them so many times, you know, but it worked again. But no, it's a huge honor for me, you know, when you're up against, and that just to be mentioned with those, you know, in that group of 8 guys, but, you know, talk about Roger Clemens and Steven Strasburg, of course, Bert Hooton going back many years ago, and Mark Pryor. Just a thrill for me, you know, and everybody knows LSU has the largest fan base in baseball in the country, you know, and I was the only SEC guy, too, in my category, so I'm sure that didn't hurt either. Probably the SEC Nation got behind it as well, but, hey, I'll take it any way I can get it, man. So that was a good honor. It really was.
One of the cool things, too, Ben, and we talked about it before you hopped on, I mean, it's a very short list, an exclusive list, and 3 LSU Tigers. Yourself, Todd Walker, and Alex Bregman all get on this list. That just kind of shows you the history of the Tigers baseball program.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, you know, somebody said LSU had more than the entire SEC did combined on there. So that tells you something about the LSU Tiger program and where it's been over the years and, you know, trying to move it back. You know, it's in the national spotlight every year, obviously, but we're hoping for a national title. I think the Tigers got a real shot next year to get back to Omaha, so I think that's good. But, yeah, it was great to see Todd Walker so deserving. I mean, the numbers he put up in 3 years, his category wasn't even really close. You know, you could put Bob Horner in there going way back, but, you know, and then Bregman over at shortstop, you know, he meant so much to a program, as you know, the heart and soul of LSU, those couple of Omaha runs, and obviously what he's done at the big league level, nobody saw that coming. He's putting up doing things at third base. It's never really been done before in the history of baseball. So 2 deserving guys, and I'm proud to be mentioned with those guys as well.
All right, Ben, I'm going to put you on the spot just a little bit because we were also talking about maybe the greatest college baseball hitter of all time. Hunt mentioned Robin Ventura, who's on this list. I talked about Todd Walker, and growing up in Shreveport, Todd, you know, growing up right across the river there in Bossier City, I said, maybe I'm a little biased, but, man, Todd has such a sweet swing. For you, off the top of your head, who is the best college baseball hitter of all time, at least maybe one that you faced?
Well, if we're going to talk about just a hitter and not a complete player, Pete Incaviglia was up against Barry Bonds out in left field. And, of course, you know, and that's what made it difficult about this particular ESPN deal that we did was, you know, we were talking about the complete player, and Barry Bonds had obviously one of the best big league careers ever, most home runs and all that stuff, you know. But if you look at Pete Incaviglia's numbers in college at Oklahoma State, that dude hit 48 home runs one year. He drove in 140-something one year. He is the only Division I player, and he did it in 3 years, by the way. He is the only Division I player to have 100 career home runs. So if you talk about the greatest college hitter, just from a number standpoint, it probably would be Pete Incaviglia. I never faced him in college, but I did face him at the big league level.
Ben, let's talk about a couple more LSU guys and where they could fit in, because they're guys that you paid attention to, you know, being an LSU guy yourself. That's Eddie Furniss and Aaron Nola.
Yeah, you know, Eddie Furniss, you know, is a guy, and again, this particular poll that we did, I think, was based on mostly what you did in college, but also I think your professional career, you know, had some weight in this as well. And that's obviously where Eddie fell off, because if you talk about from a college standpoint, there wasn't a better hitter in college really than Eddie Furniss. The number he's put up in 4 years He's still in the top 5 in NCAA history in a lot of different categories from an offensive standpoint. But I think the fact that never played in the big leagues might have hurt him a little bit with fans out there. You know, of course, when you're up against Will Clark and those kind of guys over at first base, it's very difficult because there are no wrong answers in that poll, right? Everybody in that poll of college baseball are going to be college baseball Hall of Famers. There's so many, you know, great players out there. But Eddie Furniss certainly was in that final 8 that he should have been. And, you know, it's just that I think his lack of making it to the big leagues is probably into what hurt him in the end.
Let's kind of transition a little bit to the professional side of things as they report to camps and get ready to try to play this thing here in late July. Other than my fourth starter, Jose Quintana, who sliced his hand open trying to wash the dishes, how long does it take a starting pitcher to get ready to go and to toe the rubber here at the end of July and give you 7 good innings?
Well, I mean, I don't think we're going to see guys, you know, get to that pitch count to be able to go 7 innings right away. And that's the whole reason why we're going to see rosters at 30 when this thing begins, because people are going to carry more pitchers because, you know, a lot's going to determine how in shape most guys are. And that was the challenge going through this COVID thing where some guys had places to work out and really are going to come into camp pretty well in shape with just needing a few starts to go. But there's others that didn't have quite, you know, the places to go work out there for a while that might not be quite in shape. So everybody's a little bit different. My guess is the starting pitchers are probably only going to go 50 pitches, 40 to 50 pitches their first couple of outings. And then because of the expanded rosters, you're going to see a lot of relievers come in. It's going to be very similar to what you'll see in spring training games to begin with. And then, you know, after 2 weeks, the rosters go down to 28, and another 2 weeks it goes down to 26. And I think by then, the pitchers will have 3 or 4 starts under their belts. Then you'll start to see guys be able to go out and give you, you know, 70, 80 pitches and work their way up from there.
Catching up with Ben McDonald here on Hanging with Hester. Ben, is there a certain position that you think, okay, we have to have this in a 60-game format to be able to go out there and to thrive and to make the postseason? Is there one position that you think is more important than any other?
Well, I don't know if there's – no, I think the most important thing in all this, guys, is who can stay healthy, right? I go back to the work stoppage in 94 that I was in, and 95 season came out. It was a short spring training. Guys tried to get ready really quick, and there were some injuries out there. So I think a big thing to keep an eye on is 2 things, really. The COVID thing, who can stay away from the COVID stuff? Because if you lose an important guy in your rotation, or maybe you're starting shortstop for a week or something with COVID, that's obviously going to hurt in a shortened schedule. And the other thing is who can stay healthy, right? Who can really dodge the injuries the first, say, 3 weeks of the season? You know, because the batter hadn't been really working on hitting the ball and busting it out of the box and running wide open down the line. You worry about, you know, ankles and hamstrings and knees and that kind of deal so everybody gets in shape. So I think those 2 things are really big to keep an eye on. But, you know, look, this is going to – NASCAR's been in the news a lot, right? But this is kind of like a 10-lap shootout is what I've been telling everybody in NASCAR if you want to equate it to that. This is a 60-game sprint is what this is.
Yep.
Every game matters in a big way. And I'll just give you 2 examples. If you go back to the Washington Nationals last year, who won the World Series, they were 27-33 after 60 games last year. They wouldn't even make the playoffs. The Dodgers the year before in 2018 played for the World Series title and lost. They were 30-30 after 60 games. So neither one of those clubs would have even made the playoffs in this format that we're going to have this year. So what you're going to see is you very well could see the best team in baseball, if they get off to a bad start, not make the playoffs this year. But on the other hand, you could see some teams that are not expected to be in that 10-field playoff field that actually makes it, because all you really got to do is have one really good month and then hang on for the rest of the way, and you can sneak into the playoffs. So it's going to be exciting to watch. It's a sprint to the finish, and it's going to be something we've never seen before.
That's why I think it's fascinating. I mean, and you're talking with 2 baseball purists. I mean, Hunt and I watch the Cubs, the Braves every single day, and I love the old rules. I love the National League. I love double switches. I love the pitcher having to hit. But I do think for baseball, with what they were dealt, I do think this is the best case scenario to get the fans back re-engaged with the game. I know a lot of people have been calling for the NL to have a DH for a very long time. Some other rule changes been going to have a player start on second base there for extra innings. Any of those things kind of stand out to you and think maybe baseball adopts those moving forward after this?
Well, I mean, the Players Union has been pushing for a unified DH for years now, obviously, because it creates another job for somebody, right? The National League, a DH does. So And I think Major League Baseball's for it too, because at the end of the day, we're going to create more runs. And let's face it, fans want to see the ball go out of the ballpark. They want to see runs. And when the pitcher's batting in the 9-hole in the National League, it's just not the same as a big DH that can blow it out of the ballpark. So from an excitement standpoint, I think the fans would rather see it. I'm a traditionalist too. I kind of like pitchers batting. I always wanted to bat. I always wanted to be in the National League. But I get it. If you're going to talk about scoring runs, hitting home runs, the DH is really the way to go because it creates another job out there. So it's good for the fans in that format. I think this is something that could stick. Now, as far as the guy starting at second base, I'm not a huge fan of that, right? It kind of brings me back to travel ball days where you get the extra innings, you throw a guy out at second base, and you go from there. I don't know about that. I guess in some ways it's good. It's going to shorten the games because you're not likely to have 13 or 14-inning ball games if you do it that way because somebody's going to likely score with a runner at second base and nobody out. But to get through this year and just to get baseball back on the field, I understand some of these decisions that were made.
Ben, you do some work with the Orioles television network. What are broadcasts going to look like this year?
That's a great question. You know, I'm kind of waiting to hear what it's going to look like. We really don't know other than the fact I've been talking with some Orioles officials, and obviously we, the media, will have no access to the players at all. We won't be able to go down in the clubhouse, won't be able to talk to them, which is going to be tough because, you know, you get the inside stories with those guys. There'll be Zoom meetings you can talk to them on, but it's going to look different. You know, in Maryland, you got to wear a mask. And so I don't know if we're going to be required in the booth to wear a mask. That's going to be a challenge if you got a mask on trying to call a ball game, as you guys know. I'm still waiting for some more information as far as that goes. I know the Orioles, as of right now, will not travel on the road. When the team goes on the road, we will stay back in Baltimore. And it kind of be like a Remy game. Y'all are familiar with Remy games, so we'll get into a studio. Yep. Let's say the Orioles are up in New York playing the Yankees, and we'll actually call it off of a screen. Won't be at the ballpark, and that's a whole other challenges for broadcasters because you just can't really see everything that's going on off of the TV screen. But again, it's where we are in baseball. And be honest with you guys, I don't care what it looks like at this point. I'm just glad that baseball is finally back, and we're going to have baseball. And to me, nothing screams a little normalcy in our world than America's pastime and having baseball back.
Ben, I miss you this spring and then summer, man. SEC Network, I think the best thing that y'all do over there is your college baseball coverage. And, I mean, Todd's part of that. Chris Berg's part of that. I mean, you've got such a great team. We'll even throw Tom Hart just because we have to. We have obligations. We got to throw Tom Hart in there. But, man, y'all do such a great job. We missed y'all this year. And hopefully, man, we get y'all back next year because that's something that I missed, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, as you guys know, college baseball continues to grow in leaps and bounds, and ESPN and all the networks, SEC Network, you got the ACC Network and others now. They've really gotten behind college baseball, the last 4 or 5 years, and it's really growing, and it's good. It's good. And the good news, and I'll leave you with this, is because of a 5-round draft this year, because of COVID, everybody getting a year back, you're going to see the most talent in college baseball from top to bottom that we've ever seen. I talked to an SEC coach the other day, and they're predicting 42 kids just in the SEC next year will be big league type guys. That's what kind of talent you're going to see on the field next year. So if you're a college baseball fan, hang on because it's going to be some really good brand of baseball on the field next year.
All right, there he is, LSU legend, former big leaguer, now doing a great job on TV and radio, Ben McDonald. You can follow Ben on Twitter at @RealBenMcDonald. Ben, it's been a pleasure, man. Always good catching up with you.
You too, guys. Have a happy 4th of July. Y'all stay safe.
All right, you as well. Man, I love following Ben on social media. My man is out there in the woods at all times, wearing the camo, doing the deal. Man's
He's a busy
man right
dude.
there.
Hunting, fishing, calling Orioles games, SEC Network baseball
He's got
stuff.
playing college baseball.
Yeah,
as
getting
well.
getting voted into the all-time team. A lot going on at the McDonald house.
It's all-time team, man. I would, if I'm a starting pitcher and I'm seeing like any of these guys at the plate, best of luck.
Some of the numbers, especially from the I mean, do you know, Robin Ventura, his freshman year, hit 469.
Is that a good?
Pretty good. His for his career, he hit 429.
But you heard the name that he said, right?
Pete Incaviglia, I did.
I told you. Didn't even talk to Ben about that before the show. I said, "Where's Pete Incaviglia at? Dude hit bombs."
He finished 3 points behind Barry Bonds in the voting.
Yeah, I mean, Barry Bonds was really good. I get it. Home run king to some people, not me. Hank Aaron's
Also on that list in left field, Tito Francona got 5% of the vote.
What Barry Bonds get?
25%.
So it's pretty close.
Incaviglia got 22.
Pretty close there. All right. While you were talking with Ben, you were answering or asking your questions, and he was answering you because we talked about Pete Incaviglia. Right now, I'm putting my slow pitch softball all-star team together. It's going to look really good. Pete Incavilla's on it, just to let you know.
Just to let me know.
Just to let you know. I'm coming up with the guys who the baseball bat looked like toothpicks in their hands when they played baseball.
Who is the one who plays in Jacques' game they played at LSU that's a softball guy?
Jason Williams.
Okay.
Just went to the LSU Hall of Fame.
Okay. Yeah. Long-time shortstop.
He's got strong consideration to be our shortstop.
Handegriff tells the story all the time. He goes, I just, whenever someone leaves and I wonder who's going to replace that guy, he always tells her, he goes, God, Jason Williams been playing shortstop for us for 3 years, one of the all-time greats. Like, how are we going to replace that guy? And they put Brandon Larson out there the next year.
LSU's had a couple of good shortstops. Had some talent.
Larson hit 40 bombs.
God, can you imagine if a guy hit 40 bombs like in today's college baseball?
I mean, no.
It's just no.
Chris Bryant hit a lot a few years ago at San Diego, but no, you just don't hit that many.
He's playing in like a.
That's why when they
Little League
drafted him, I got
ballpark.
really mad. I was like, I can't believe we drafted this guy who's hitting these no-name pitchers out for homers and nobody's paying attention to. We could have had Jonathan Gray. Well, how was that take?
Not great. All right, we'll take a break here. More to come. Hanging with Hester, presented by Richard Honda.
Hangin' with Hester with Jacob Hester.
All right, speaking of Richard Honda, of course, they're the title sponsor of this show. You can find them every single day online at richardshonda.com, where you can do it all. You can check for all those new and pre-owned vehicles, of course, right there in the bottom right corner of the website. Any question that you might have, well, they can answer it right there on the spot on the homepage. In the bottom left corner of the website, it's going to pull up all the specials that they have going on right now and exactly how long you have left to save. So you've got 4 days, 10 hours, and 22 minutes left in their current special offers. Again, bottom left corner of the website. I always encourage you, though, even if you're at your house, maybe even you're at work right now and you're checking out the website, go see him at 13413 Millerville Greens Boulevard in Baton Rouge. That's I-12 and Millerville, brand new state-of-the-art dealership. Again, 700 new and pre-owned vehicles that are ready to be moved today. Go to the website because you're going to find something that you absolutely love. If you're looking for a car, if you're looking for a hybrid, a midsize SUV, full-size SUV, van, truck, no matter where you're at in your life, no matter what your lifestyle asks for, they've got you covered. That's Richard Honda, home of the warm and fuzzy feeling.
Sports will be back.
But for now, we're all rooting for a different kind of hero.
Let's embody the best parts of sports.
Teamwork,
sacrifice,
resilience.
One goal, together.
This is a house call. This is a test result. This is a prescription refill. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare. Start your virtual visit today at Auctioner Health.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Means 3-1 great. Hangin' with Hester with Jacob Hester. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. Hanging with Hester presented by Richard Tonda. Quick update. I know inside the Bayou Ford Huddle, a lot of people are asking about, accessing the show from the Roku app. That is something that I think we are trying to transition away from. You can now find us on our YouTube page, Hanging with Hester. Also, on Facebook Live on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge page. Of course, if you have Cox Sports Television, we're on CST every single day as well. So a lot of ways to get with us. What did you just do to the camera, Hunt?
I was just giving a thumbs up.
I didn't like that smirk you just gave the camera.
I like Tuscaloosa.
Speaking of Tuscaloosa, some news coming out of there, thanks to my guy Cade who shared this news with me. Apparently, they are having COVID-19 parties, and they're putting money together. And the first one that gets the virus gets the pot. That is the most asinine, ridiculous, every dumb, unintelligent thing I've ever heard in my life.
We go back to the beginning of the show. I should be the chairman of the Committee on Infractions, and I will go there and I will start suspending their players as well.
I didn't say it was necessarily the players.
It's not, but it doesn't matter. It's part. I'm the chief. They screwed up. It's part of the university. I punish the university. What better punishment to the university than stripping them of all their scholarships for football?
I don't know, but that is so irresponsible. I mean, to go have a party, put money together to see who can get this
COVID. What do you do? Like, I just have so many horrible images in my head. You have somebody that has it cough on everybody? Is it a spin the bottle game?
Okay. Tuscaloosa City Council, right? Okay. Said students have been organizing COVID parties as a game to intentionally infect each other with the contagion that has killed more than 127,000 people in the United States. She said she recently learned of the behavior and informed the city council of the parties occurring in the city, and they plan to put a stop to them. Oh, thank you for putting a stop to them.
I'm sure they'll put a stop to them.
How
are they sharing popsicles? What do we do? How are we spreading this?
Hunt, I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to know a lot of information about having COVID-19 parties and how college kids pass it to each other.
Dare to dream.
What Hunt say about Tuscaloosa, though?
I like Tuscaloosa. To be fair, I haven't been to a COVID party, so I can't really comment.
And don't get me wrong. We went to everybody in this room. Well, for the most part, sorry, Paul. You went to Southeastern. Went to LSU, and we love a party. Hurricane parties in college were epic.
Yeah, and then the power goes out for a week, and you have to leave.
I didn't say all that Debbie Downer. I said hurricane parties are fantastic. Crawfish bowls, right? We love to have them for no reason. You don't have to have a reason. We love to party. Give us a reason, and we're going to do it. We ain't doing that, Tuscaloosa. That's why that place is not a good place, and I don't know why you like it. You're the first person I've ever heard say that didn't go to Alabama.
I mean, I've already made my case. I just think there's some cool bars and restaurants that are right next to campus. That's fun. And look, all they had to do to fix it, the city council is not going to do squat. They can put in a law and nobody's going to follow it. You get Nick Saban to go up there and say, quit doing it, they'll stop.
Sadly, you're exactly right.
Well, of course I am.
Well, it doesn't happen very often. That's why I made a point of it.
You should have heard. That brings me back to when I was in Auburn in 2010, and we were at Sky Bar after the game was over, and everybody was going crazy. Bands playing, just hooting and hollering. The bar's going nuts. And they cut to SportsCenter, and Cam was being interviewed at Cam's press conference, and the whole place just went silent. It was like the Pope was talking. And that's kind of what it would be in Tuscaloosa. If you just got Saban in front of a microphone and said, hey, quit having COVID parties, they'd stop.
Can you imagine the PSA that Saban's going to cut?
Yeah.
Recommending no. We got our coach telling everybody, just reminding everybody, good things, washing your hands, 6 feet away, the stuff that you should be hearing. Instead, their coach is now going to be making a PSA, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah, with the mascot again, like he did.
Yeah. Using our tagline, right?
One team, one heart.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. You know, I never even thought about that.
Mm-hmm. He's jealous, just like that guy in the huddle who was trying to tweet recruiting rankings at me fresh off his VRBO Citrus Bowl win. The good news for Nick is that he got like 3 extra weeks to recruit because he didn't have to get ready for the championship game.
Bubba Hebert in the huddle, though, took a picture of you from CST. Said, Hunt looks like a referee today, and you kind of do.
Oh, no. I hate referees a lot. I don't have any stripes on.
Look at the picture, though.
I don't like referees. I don't know.
Like all white today.
It is all white. I have, got black shorts on, black on my hat.
Yeah.
I hate refs. I don't want to be a ref.
Well, don't wear all white.
It's like Jerry on Seinfeld. I don't want to be a ref.
You're not supposed to wear white on TV anyways.
I'm not on TV.
You're on TV. You winked at the camera
Nobody
earlier
wants
because
to,
I said
nobody
we're on
wants
CST.
to see me on TV. Nobody really wants to hear me.
Hunt, you're on TV. Every time you've come to this show since
I'm aware,
March, you're on TV.
I'm aware. But I like this shirt. I wear a lot of white shirts.
Is that Greg Norman?
It is. My mom got it for me. It's not the one I would have picked out, but it's white. I like it.
Okay. I like this shirt. My mom got it for me. It's not one I would have picked out, but you like it.
I just like white shirts. It allows me to wear colored shorts, which I like too.
Okay. We're going to take a break. I'm going to let Hunt reassess his life, and we'll be back with more. Still putting my softball list together. This slow pit softball team is coming together really nice. If you want to interact, I know you've got some names you want to put. Remember, steroids, maybe not a bad thing on our slow pitch softball team.
I got some guesses.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Hanging with Hester, presented by Richard Tonda.
Hangin' with Hester with Jacob Hester. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, welcome back to Hangin' with Hester with Jacob Hester. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. Hanging with Hester, presented by Richards Honda. Hunt, the other day we were talking about baseball players that decided to not join their teams, and yesterday talked about it was Bobby Bowe Day.
Yep.
Bobby Bonilla, of course, $1.19 million until 2035, and so it was Bobby Bowe Day, so we talked about that. But one of the players that's not reporting to his team currently is actually one of the kings of the deferred contracts, and that is Ryan Zimmermann. So I talked about, man, he's leaving some money on the table, and of course he said, look, I've got an infant, my mother is very high risk, and so I understood it wasn't calling him out for not showing up, but I'm like, man, that's some money he's leaving on the table. Well, Ryan Zimmermann gets $10 million a year for 5 years after he retires from the Nationals. So whatever year, retire. For the next 5 years, he gets $10 million per.
Been playing 15 years in the bigs, 35 years old, and if he doesn't ever play again, which is possible, people are saying this may be it for him, he will be the last player to play baseball that was drafted by the Montreal Expos, which I think is an interesting stat.
Real quick, because I feel like we give Bobby Bowe a day, but there's other players that have had the same deferred contracts that don't get enough love. Max Scherzer gets $15 million a year from 2022 until 2028 from the Nationals, so not as long, but a lot more money per year. We always talk about the Mets and Bobby Bowe. Well, Darryl Strawberry gets $1.64 million a year from 2004 to 2033 from the Mets.
I didn't know this was a thing.
Baseball, big time thing. As you start to do the research, there's more. King Griffey Jr. gets $3.6 million each year from 2009 through 2024 from the Reds.
Yeah, I was about to say from the White Sox.
Brett Saberhagen paid $250,000 a year from 2004 to 2028 by guess who? The Mets.
I was about to say, yeah, it sounds like the Mets. I mean,
I hope Haldane's listening to this. And so it is very common in baseball. I mean, Chris Davis has one, Matt Holliday, Albert Pujols.
I did not know this was a thing.
No football players, because we're meatheads.
Yeah, how's the Union doing?
Yeah, it's not very. It's not doing well. Kevin Garnett retired in 2016. The Celtics owe him $5 million a year until the 2021-2022 season. I hate the Mets, by the way. I'm so glad Chipper Jones named his
Barstool podcast.
child Shea.
Well, Barstool's not for everybody. There's a Barstool podcast called You Gotta Believe, and it's basically a Mets therapy session. It's two guys in there, and they just talk about Cespedes falling off a horse and like breaking both of his legs. It's just terrible.
By the way, David Wright will still get paid for almost a decade from the New York Mets. David Wright makes way more money than like almost any other Met, but more than half of the Mets don't make as much as Bobby Bowe is going to make from the Mets this year. There is one basketball contract to mention in this deferred contract segment here. Darren Williams, Mavericks, Nets.
Yeah.
Well, he has made $15,000 a day for the last 5 years. $15,000 per 24 hours for the last 5 years.
I wish he'd give me like a week of his money.
Hey, Joey Hester, I'm talking to you. You could have helped your boy out. Just, it's all on the wrist. Shoot hoops a little bit instead of being a meathead.
How is that, Jay?
You know, it's okay. It's okay. Back in the day,
I had a really ugly shot. Brought it from the wrong side of my chin. Ooh,
not
bad.
one person.
A little bit of Lonzo
is going
action.
to dispute that. Not one single person.
I could get some threes up in a high school game.
Moral of the story, it might take a little bit longer, but baseball, basketball, fathers, mothers, if you're listening, just transition them.
What about golf? You can play for like 20, 40 years.
Dude, you got to be really good at golf.
All right. You can be crappy and play in the NBA?
We'll be back. Hour 2.
Hangin' with Hester with Jacob Hester.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
For over 50 years, customers have been heading to Happy Town for the Corval Toyota experience. Get outstanding service with our complimentary loaner program when you buy your next vehicle at Corval Toyota. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Divorce is hard. Divorce is messy. Divorce is exhausting. The law offices of O.C. Brown walked me through my divorce and helped me find the right solution for me, my kids, my finances, and my property.
Call the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Hi, this is Chance Inman, President and Chief Operating Officer for Janney King Gulf Coast. Here are some ways to protect yourself and those around you from the coronavirus. Wash your hands often and thoroughly. Cover coughs and sneezes with your elbow. Disinfect high-touch surfaces regularly. Use non-contact methods for greeting others. And avoid touching your face. Following these steps, as well as social distancing, should help all of us stay healthy.
Janney King, the king of clean.
Visit Bayou Ford for a new 2020 Ford F-150 for only $30,400 with 0% for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
Now, more from the 2007 national champion, Hangin with Hester, with Jacob Hester. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. Hanging with Hester, presented by Richard's Honda. Hour number 2. Hunt, Cade, and Paul O'Neill all here with me on a Thursday afternoon. Got a couple of Huntisms that I've been missing out getting to.
Yeah.
Hunt uses the backboard for free throws.
No, but I do it like the fair when you're trying to make the shot there.
That was difficult. Very difficult.
You gotta hit. You gotta
it's
use
the old
glass
oval
there.
rim.
Yeah, you gotta use the glass there. Those rims are too tight.
Hunt prefers sherbet to ice cream.
That's not true. Although, no, that's not true. But I did like rainbow sherbet from TCBY when I was little. I think
it hit. You did side by side.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call that? Creamsicle. Couldn't think of what it was.
White chocolate mousse was the go-to later on there.
Solid. Hunt wears his baseball glove to every game that he still goes to.
Let me tell you, that's not true, but just one of the saddest things is that I came to college, and one day me and a buddy went up to the rec to throw the baseball, and that was the last time I ever used my glove. I just don't know where I lost it.
You've heard my story. It's better than how my glove ended. My high school glove that I loved got ruined. And by the way, it was Todd Walker's Major League glove that he had given me.
Well.
And Peter Diakowski overflowed his toilet above me in West Campus apartment. And it got on my Todd Walker glove and ruined it.
You hate to hear it. I need a new glove. That's what
Canadians,
I need.
I swear.
I can't tell you the last time I played catch with a baseball. Canucks.
Hunt puts ice in his beer.
My dad puts ice in his beer.
Ooh, Dr. Palmer, we got to talk about that one.
Yeah, every time he doesn't drink all that often. When he does, he gets, can I get a Bud Light and a glass of ice?
Hunt, you wear tube socks still?
I do not wear tube socks. No.
What says in the huddle? You like black Twizzlers?
No, that's licorice and bad. Don't like them.
Licorice is not bad if you get the right kind.
I just want a Twizzler, a regular one.
Hunt, I bet your jump shot was as broken as anything that's ever been broken before in life.
Hey, look, I used to put up a lot of threes in high school. I mean, you came out in zone. I once put up 18 in a game.
Solid number.
You go to 2-3, your boy's getting some shots up.
Still salty about my Todd Walker glove.
No, you should be. That's disappointing.
Yeah, Peter, what? I mean, come on, man.
There's no need to overflow a toilet. Just flush a lot.
Yeah. Get a courtesy flush. You don't have to ruin my Todd Walker black leather Rawlings glove. That was fantastic.
I haven't stopped up a toilet in just many, many, many years. Just flush it a lot. Just get rid of it.
All right, well, let's move on from this conversation. This is something we probably should have talked about yesterday with Flynn. He would have enjoyed this. Actually, Flynn was Peter's roommate, so I'm sure he had to deal with that as well. All right, so when we're talking with Ben McDonald, we started talking about some of the big-time college baseball hitters, and it got me thinking. Well, Pete Incaviglia was the guy that I talked about, but and of course Barry Bonds and those guys, when they were up there in the big leagues, when they were batting with the wood bat, it literally looked like it was like a toothpick in their hands. I mean, they were so big. Maybe some was synthetic. I don't know. Not here to say.
We're not here to judge. We're here to talk about bash and bombs.
Give me the ultimate slow pitch softball team. I went position by position while you were talking with Ben McDonald. I added a couple names here in the last break. That would be the ultimate. Now, some of these fellas, well, 2 of them have passed away, but if they were still alive, they would definitely be on my slow pitch softball team.
I mean, the names that come to my head, and I'm not going to try to do positions, but I'm just going to throw names against the board and see what sticks. McGuire.
Mark McGuire is one of the 2 first basemen that I threw on the list.
Canseco.
Jose is definitely on this list.
Glenn Allen Hill.
He is not.
Matt Stairs.
Matt Stairs, professional hitter, is for sure. He's like the first name I put down.
Just hitting tanks. Albert Bell.
Oh, no, I missed the opportunity there.
I mean, I can't think of like middle infielders. Like, you're looking for a sweet swing at second base. It would hit a ton of beer league homers. Yeah. Robinson Cano would hit a bunch of tanks.
Okay, but he wouldn't.
Well,
be
how
as
many
intimidating.
muscle-bound beasts play second base? Bret Boone.
I've got plenty. By the way, if I was doing this list, and I was just using people that I've seen play softball, Jason Williams from LSU would be the #1 pick on every single team that I've ever done. Mm-hmm. But what I did is I took big leaguers that a lot of people, would remember for performance enhancing for the most part, but they would remember them. At catcher, I've got former Philly and Marlin Darren Dalton. Had a great mullet.
He did have quite a flow.
Great mullet. He's passed away. Mike Piazza was my backup catcher. It was Pudge, Mike Piazza. Didn't really know which way to go.
Pudge was more of an average hitter. Piazza was trying to hit it off the scoreboard. You can go with him.
Okay. At first base, you mentioned Mark McGuire. I also had John Kruk. You can't have a beer league softball team without John Kruk.
The guy would crush beers, and he would look terrible in a uniform. He was an average hitter. He didn't hit a lot of homers.
Yeah, but we're talking slow pitch beer league softball.
He just like him because he's fat.
Chill out. But would he not fit on this team?
He would. No, he looked terrible in a uniform, so that's great.
Second base, you mentioned one of them, Bret Boone.
Yeah.
Bret Boone's for sure the answer here. His forearm's gigantic. Let's see. Also had Chuck Knobloch.
Just don't make him play
defense. Just don't make him throw it.
Where'd Chuck Knobloch go to college?
I don't know. I'd love to hear.
He was on the Texas A&M team that Ben McDonald and then went over to College Station and beat that was like 56-4.
Gross. Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
A shortstop. Any guesses?
Big, jacked up shortstops. I mean, A-Rod?
Miguel Tejada.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
We do get a vote for Jeff Kent at second base. That's not a bad one.
That's good. I mean, the AL shortstops at that time with
Miguel
Jeter, A-Rod, Garcia Parra, and Tejada. Like, you had to leave one or two of them off the All-Star team every year.
Stephen Miller inside the Bayou Ford huddle. Mark DeRosa was jacked. He was a big second baseman.
He played for the Cubs for a while, just not a big power hitter.
He was never a starter for the Braves. He was with the Braves before the Cubs. He was never like a full-time starter for a season. He had a lot of injuries. Did you know where he played quarterback at college?
Yeah, in the Ivy League.
That's
Dartmouth.
Schools. Penn.
Penn.
Third baseman on this team.
At one point, the Cubs had Mark DeRosa and Jeff Samardzija on the same team. College quarterback and wide receiver. Fun fact.
Fun fact, Hon. Thanks. Save that for Pluckers.
I'm bringing all you guys, just all this knowledge.
Save that for Pluckers. All right,
third base,
baseman.
I got one in my head. There's got to be somebody better than that, though.
I've got the ultimate. You won't beat this name.
Ken Caminetti?
Ken Caminetti.
Okay,
it's the only name that fits. And, he's passed away as well. So
there's got to be some monster third baseman.
It's got to be Ken Caminetti, though.
He was a big dude.
He had a rocket. Almost said a bad word. He had a rocket arm, too.
Yeah, he did.
He played for the Bravos for a little bit, but obviously was the Astro. By the way, speaking of Astros, I almost went Bagwell for a first base.
Yeah, that works.
John Kruk has to be on my team. It's just the way it is.
You just like him because he's fatty.
And the mullet.
He didn't hit that many homers.
And he's going to drink a lot of cold Coors Lights.
That's
beer league softball, okay? All right, let's go to the outfield. You mentioned Jose Canseco and Matt Stairs. Yeah, they're in my outfield. But also Gary Sheffield is in my outfield.
Absolutely.
That bat twitch, unbelievable. Juan Gonzalez.
Had 100 RBIs at the All-Star break one year.
Juan Gonzalez has to be on this team.
Stud.
Oh, Kyle points out a fantastic name in the huddle. I missed Dan Uggla.
Yeah, very good.
Dan
very,
Uggla,
very
second
good.
baseman. He's a Brave.
Dan Uggla and Mark Reynolds are the two second basemen of this
Mark
era that
Reynolds. He kind of transitioned
they just
to first
struck
base.
out all the time and hit home. I hate that kind of player.
I also put Pete Incaviglia in here because he's kind of what started this list. This is my DH.
Your boy John Kruk played 10 years in major leagues, hit 20 home runs twice.
Again, it's more about his look and how many beers he could drink.
He did. He was a lifetime 300 hitter, which is really impressive.
So the other DH was Mo Vaughn.
Oh, yeah.
Mo Vaughn's
Excellent
huge.
call.
I once saw Mo Vaughn in.
He put that huge elbow pad on and crowd over the plate.
I saw him in the mall in New Orleans, and he had double stud earrings, and they were big like diamonds, obviously, so for the white of a baseball, and they had rubies like as the laces in the baseball. They were gigantic, so they were diamond and ruby baseball earrings, and he was doubled up, and no telling how much money he had in his ears.
I mean, I think the guys that I'm thinking about that you've left off, Glenn Allen Hill for sure.
I'm still not done.
You hit it over the rooftops, you get a vote.
Nah, one time. Chill out.
I mean, that's it.
All right, my other two outfielders, Adam Dunn.
Yeah.
And Brian Giles. Brian
I
Giles
just
has
had a
the
thought.
biggest forearms that I've ever seen in my life.
I just had a thought. And hear me out here. Bo Jackson?
I mean, yeah, but he's not.
He's gonna hit it to over. He's gonna hurt somebody in the parking lot.
He's a little too athletic to be on my squad. We're not looking for athletes.
He and
here.
Matt Stairs aren't gonna jive.
We're not looking for athletes. We're looking for mullets is a plus. Mullets is a big plus. Possible steroid usage. That's a big.
Is Kenny Powers gonna be your pitcher?
No, he's not. Vlad Guerrero would be a fantastic because he swings at everything.
Yeah, that's good. I think your pitcher needs to be Bartolo.
It's not. Oh, Troy Gloss, Ethan. Great.
Troy Gloss,
shout-out.
best, prettiest right-handed swing I've ever seen.
It was long though. It's long, but it was
that's
pretty.
pretty.
Well, not really.
Well, it's not effective, but it's pretty to look at.
Okay, fair point. Okay, any guess who my pitcher is? Now doesn't mean he can hit because if I'm going for like a hitter.
Oh well, your
like
pitcher
Micah
if you're going
Owings
for a
or
hitter.
somebody
No,
like
you're
that.
gonna go Carlos Zambrana.
Okay, well that wouldn't actually be a bad choice.
He was a
on this
switch
team.
hitter and he hit bombs.
I went with Kevin Brown.
Why?
Kevin Brown was jacked. Are you kidding me?
Was he? He threw sinkers.
Yes.
He's really good.
Well, it was sinking with a lot of muscle to it. Padres, Dodgers, Marlins.
Now I'm having trouble thinking of the chubby pitchers that have been out there over the years. Jonathan Broxton from the Dodgers was fat. I think Ray King, maybe the Cardinals.
Lefty. Ray King's a lefty out of the bullpen.
He was hefty. Mike Fetters was weird, and he was fat.
I'm telling you what, there's some solid names on this list, and I knew they wouldn't disappoint. Frank Thomas would be really good on this team.
Yeah.
Matt Williams at third base.
But I mean, Frank Thomas is a little bit too athletic for this too.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
he played tight end in the SEC.
Yeah, Julio Franco. You can't play that long without being athletic. Maybe a little too athletic.
Julio Franco, if you're looking for a guy who's going to be able to play into his 80s, then you can definitely take him. He could probably still turn around a fastball.
Bubba wins. Fielder. Either one.
Okay, so yes. And I just saw a stat that Tim Kirkjian ran on SportsCenter that said that
son.
Cecil Fielder and Prince Fielder finished their careers with exactly the same amount of homers, like 347 or something. How crazy is
Cecil
that?
Fielder used to hit it on top of the old stadium there in Detroit, like on the
Tiger
regular.
Stadium. Prince Fielder was a vegan.
Okay, I don't really believe that though.
Oh, I mean, look at the guy.
I'm ashamed that I left both of them off. Can they be? Can Cecil? Why didn't you just go by Cecil? I mean, that's how it's spelled.
Cecil.
I know, but why'd Cecil do that?
Do you have a say?
Yeah.
Whatever your parents
money,
do.
You got it. Anyways, he's player coach.
Okay.
Kirby Puckett.
Really good athlete.
Yeah.
Squatty, but I mean, that catch he made in the World Series, really good athlete.
Why would you bring that catch up in the World Series?
Well,
we don't need to hear about that catch in the World
happens.
Series. We don't need to hear what team that was against. Bartolo Colon, I do feel like though needs to be mentioned.
That's one of the great calls when he hit that home run. Was he with the Mets at the time?
Yes.
And they called it. It was so funny. He hit that home run in San Diego.
Oh man, y'all are really just making me proud with your interaction today because Jay Buhner,
yeah,
all-time goatee,
good.
The only player that could compete with King Griffey Jr. and King Griffey Jr. baseball on the Super Nintendo.
Well, that's ridiculous because he had a tiny circle and was not that good a player. Like Barry Bonds hit bombs, Larry Walker hit bombs on that game.
Well, Jay Buhner did too,
but it was harder to hit with him because he wasn't as good.
Ooh, David Wells.
Ah, great. Perfect game.
Yeah, David Wells. AJ Perninsky as catcher. AJ was sneaky athletic.
AJ got punched in the face by Michael Barrett at Wrigley, so we don't want to talk about him.
AJ was one of those guys that I was not a fan of.
Yeah, he played for the White Sox. Out.
Didn't he? He's a Florida fan too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida guy. And he played for the Braves, so I had to like him, but he's got a very punchable face, apparently.
That's the worst when somebody that you really, really hate comes to your team. Like, it took me like a little while to get used to John Lackey pitching for the Cubs.
All right, we've got a couple more. I promise I'm about to wrap this up. I'm having too much fun with this. Lance Berkman.
Yeah.
From Ethan. Great. Jabba Chamberlain. Jabba Chamberlain needs to be on my team. Nobody said him yet. I don't know how. Big Cat. There you go, Kate. Big Cat finally got a vote.
That YouTube highlight when he hits it into the third deck in Marlin Stadium under the tarps up there, that's
This is the greatest slow pitch softball team of all time.
Let me throw this out there. As far as uniforms go, these guys may not want to wear a batting helmet, but if they do, I want the ones that had the grime of the
pine tar?
The pine tar across the front of the hat.
Biggio.
Just the dirtiest.
And I want like 3 or 4 buttons unbuttoned with like
chest hair coming out.
Yeah.
It's an intimidation thing.
Well, taco meat. The biggest red man that could possibly fit in your cheek.
That's not healthy.
Chill out. Stirrups. I want stirrups on these guys. It's starting to come together.
What's the beer dispenser in the dugout? Are we on a keg system here?
We're on a keg. We don't have time to put the money in and get the beer and have to drop. We don't have time for that. No,
flip shades in the outfield?
Oh, yeah. No doubt flip shades are in the outfield with eye black. All right, so we'll take a break. I'll come up with a name for my softball team as well. We got more to come. Hanging with Hester, presented by Richard Honda.
Hangin' with Hester with Jacob Hester.
Dear Sports is our love letter to sports. Share your Dear Sports letter with us. Call 860-506-6161 and read it to us. Or share a video or text using the hashtag Dear Sports on Twitter or Instagram.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
Hey, T-Bob, sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans, so we're highlighting the fans that do it the most.
Every week, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out, 1045ESPN.com.
It's the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Do you know the proper way to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in your office? We do. We're Jani King, a leader in the cleaning industry for over 30 years, and we've developed comprehensive programs to address proper cleaning and disinfection. We have experience in applying disinfecting programs in hospitals, office buildings, schools, and other venues. Now we're ready to help and able to assist customers that need disinfecting services.
Jani King, the king of clean.
Our family of restaurants are fired up, and we can't wait to see you safely. Little Village Downtown. Call or go online for offerings and hours. Palermo Ristorante. We're serving great food right now. Little Village on Airline. Reward yourself. Stabs in Central? Nice. Stabs Prime on Jefferson. Steak or seafood? Introducing Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. We're socially responsible from a distance.
Hi, friends. We're all a little on edge, but we at Richard's Honda want to help. If your car needs service, we'll pick it up and drop it off, fixed and sanitized. If you need a new car, use our buy from home option or call us and we'll deliver it right to your door with no payments for 90 days. We are all in this together, and together we'll get through it. For more information, log on to richardshonda.com today.
Here at the Big Squeezy, we continue to serve the Baton Rouge and Southeast Louisiana areas during these troubling times. We are dedicated to providing you healthy food items to help you live your best life. From our cold-pressed juices to our delicious smoothies, let the Big Squeezy keep you going. Stay active, stay happy, and let us help you stay healthy. Visit us at our locations and also inside of Alexander's and Mathern's grocery stores or online at thebigsqueezy.com.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, welcome back to Hangin' with Hester with Jacob Hester. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 1130 The Tiger.
All right, we're back here hanging with Hester, presented by Richard Honda. Some great interaction. Hoot instead of the Bayou Ford Huddle. A couple of team name ideas thrown out there. The Squatters, because they're sitting on all the fastballs. I like that.
Okay. Louisville Chuggers.
Ooh. I'm so damn proud of you right now. I've never been more proud of you.
I mean, that's not. I didn't really come up with it.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't chug beer or take shots, so I never participated.
Well, no offense, but you're not close to my softball.
Well, that's right. But all the people in college used to cut the handle off the bat and put a beer in it, and then chug it, and then spin around, and then try to hit it, and they call it Louisville Chugger.
Louisville Chugger, but still, like I didn't think of it. But that's a great name. We're getting endorsed. I mean, the whole deal.
Yeah, I can't get.
But the only bad part is like Marucci baseball bats are much better. But we don't want to damage those though.
No,
they're for hitting. They're not for chugging.
That's right.
But they do sell bats that you can drink out of.
Well, then you can go
check those out, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Good save.
Jim Leland needs to be the manager. He'd be smoking heaters during the game.
That guy could rip some heaters.
Quick. There would be no light though. There's no Bud Light. There's no Coors Light. Even though we enjoy those, it's only Bud Heavy and Banquet beer.
Okay. I mean, I'm telling you, when I was interning at Channel 9 in the summer of 2009, I played in Jacques, not the celebrity softball game, but the actual tournament over in Lafayette.
Right. And
I was on the Channel 9 team, and I think I was potentially the only player on the team that played high school baseball. We weren't a really strong squad. And we were playing teams that I believe traveled and played in tournaments.
Oh, yeah, you're done.
We were losing like 28-1, like routinely. And these folks like took their softball on a Saturday super serious.
Oh, absolutely.
They were coming, dude, you crushed one out last game. I was like, yeah, bro, I hit one deep. I was like, when do I get to go home?
Oh, if you're going to be there, you got to be competitive.
We were losing by 30 runs.
You're not competitive. Exactly. The other team was more
I was out there in left
winning.
field trying to make some plays.
Mickey Mantle could probably finish the keg and still hit bombs. Fact.
Yeah.
Kyle Farnsworth, guy we both know, Brave and Cub.
Excellent. Better
you
form
made a great
tackler.
point. He did.
Wilson.
The guy could hit 97, had a nice slider, and could not get people out.
Didn't get anyone out.
It never made sense to me.
He was terrible.
It wasn't terrible. He played a long time in the big leagues, but you know.
He's no Scott Air, Bob Howry, Rick Aguilera, some former Cubs bullpen hands of that era. Mm-hmm. Latroy Hawkins.
Everybody remembers Latroy Hawkins. He played for like 97 big league seasons. Mm-hmm. All right, we've got a couple more names I can't say. I mean, the long dongs, because they're hitting dongs. I mean, you can say that. It's fine. It's good. The dusters.
You said it, I didn't.
The dusters. No, we don't dust. One thing we dust is sports. We crop dust sports here.
Generally not on Thursdays, but you know what? It's a global pandemic.
Oh, I'm having too
and
much.
everyone's about to go on vacation. They don't care.
Oh, I'm having.
Dinger.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having just too much fun with this. I'll be honest with you. This is not, not something we set out to do or, but here we are.
I mean, look, we could talk Premier League soccer. I know everything.
By the way, I am a little bummed out that now my man Jimmy Ott's talking 10 minutes about Premier League soccer, and anytime that Gordy and I, when we were doing 68 radio together, if it was 30 seconds, it was like, all right, enough of that.
Can we call Gordy and do a post-Tottenham game recap today?
No, the boss would get in trouble for swearing on it.
Well, look, Cody Worsham from LSU was somebody asked who should I pull for in the Premier League, and he went through the entire list, and he was not very complimentary of Gordy's squad. He also said that you're going to be depressed your whole life.
Yeah, Everton fan for sure. Being an Everton fan, I'm trying to think of like the college football, the team that, never going to win a championship, but they're not ever going to just suck, right? They're going to kind of be in the middle there. They're going to be
Virginia Tech.
That's a good one. They're Virginia Tech. That's the team. The team that I like is
they
Virginia
Tech. They got a chance to start the season hot. They got a chance to win a big game, but inevitably it's not going to work out.
It's never going to get them to the promised land.
You hate to hear that.
That's exactly right. Like going to an Orange Bowl and getting beat by Kansas, that's about where we sit.
Coming in 07 and playing a really good team and getting beat by 1,000.
And getting your ace whipped, yes.
See, that's the best thing about my favorite teams is they can all win the whole thing. LSU basketball's never done it, but it's possible. It would bum me out to be a fan of someone who could never win.
Like, obviously, LSU's been to Final Fours. Dale Brown and Coach Brady took them to Final Fours. It's more possible now than maybe – I mean, not ever, because obviously the Shaquille O'Neal team's fantastic.
Well, apparently we were the best team in the country at 81. Yeah, I couldn't tell you about it, but
– and we've seen LSU get – but on a more year in, year out basis, like, yeah, you feel good about the LSU basketball team and the baseball team for sure. Any chance or anytime, any way can win a national championship. The football team's won 3 in the last 17 years for sure. But it's a different feeling when you root for a team that you literally know they're not winning it. The last time that Everton won the Premier League was 86-87.
So it's doable.
It's doable.
But, like, if you're an alum of any of the other Division I schools in Louisiana, I don't need to single them out, just any of them.
I'd love for you to single them out.
You're aware that you're never going to win a national championship. That would be tough for me to get ready for the season. I guess if you don't know any better, that's one thing, but I just would hate that.
Going into the off season, I get fourth quarter program, spring practice, the hell that is two-a-days. Well, back when we had two-a-days, the 110s, all that. I am completely with you, and I am completely spoiled when I say this. In high school, I knew we had a chance every single year to win a state title. We won 3. When I got to LSU, they had just won a national title. I knew I had a chance to win a national title. Even in the NFL, because it's always changing, right? Even unless you're with the Browns, you feel like you've got a really, a chance. And there's a couple teams I was on that we won 11 games in a row. Felt like we had the team to make it, didn't make it, but you felt like you had a chance. I'm with you as far as I can't imagine doing all of that to not ever finish at the top or even have an opportunity to finish
and
at the top.
I guess you bring up a good point because I'm simply thinking about the 3 LSU teams and the Cubs. But I guess my high school baseball team had a chance our sophomore year. I didn't play, but we could have won state. Basketball, under no circumstance were we ever going to do anything in the playoffs. And I didn't ever think about that when I was playing. So maybe it's just a different mindset. Every game was still that important, and we got to the playoffs my junior year and won a game, and it was incredible. And there's no chance we could ever get to the Dome or win a championship, and it didn't lessen my experience at all. So maybe it's a matter of perspective. I didn't think about it that way. My eyes kind of shifted.
What is the football equivalent? I just almost butchered that. Stop.
Equivalent?
Yeah, almost. But you see how I stopped those because I didn't want you to say something to me.
Of course I wouldn't do that. I would never do that.
Stop. I was reading too fast. Of LSU basketball, a football team. You've had Stars, Shaq, Pistol Pete. You've had Stromae Swift, number 2 overall pick, Tyrus Thomas.
Ooh, I've got one
You've
sure.
had Stars, but you don't have a national title.
Well, I've got one, but I don't want to say it because you're going to go nuts if I say it. There's another one. I've got 2 that I think kind of they probably have a better track record than LSU basketball. LSU basketball has been bad more times than these schools have been bad, but I think the best comparison, unfortunately, you're going to hate it, is Texas A&M football.
They won one in the 30s.
Well, that doesn't count.
I agree with you. If it happened before World War II.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
Mhm.
But, they've got a chance, but they haven't had a ton of success. They've had a couple of good teams, but they're usually kind of middle of the pack in their league. Penn State football is better than LSU basketball. But basketball, there are just more teams that can win. In football, I struggle to find I'm sorry. When is UCLA going to win a national championship in football?
They're not.
When is Georgia Tech going to win a national championship in football?
Now football will go in waves. Like you'll have your moments. Like way back in the day, like the service academies were winning Heisman trophies. Notre Dame's winning Heisman trophies, and there's teams that have dominated the 70s and then the 80s, and then you and I have mentioned so many times we didn't ever think that USC in the 2000s would lose a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what Nebraska in the 90s. They're never going to lose. When Nebraska beat Florida like they did, my man Doring's senior year, I was like, this team will never lose another game. Now, Tommy Frazier moves on, and Eric Crouch was a good player, but then it went to Scott Frost, and then it started to go down, and then what they were able to do as far as walk-ons started to change a little bit, and now we know Nebraska to be who they are. But if you would have told me when I was 10 years old, Nebraska, one day they're not going to be a good football team, I'd have called you a liar, right? So college football does go in waves, but even in those waves, it's like 6 teams that can win a national championship.
I know. I feel like the amount of teams that can win it is shrinking because the haves are lapping the have-nots. Financially, you just can't keep up. If you can't build the facilities and you can't, you can't do some of the things that some of these teams are doing, you're just not going to be able to compete. There's a chasm growing between the haves and has-nots.
What number would you put on it as far as teams? Is it
that
15?
Can win?
That can win a national championship, and it doesn't have to have 73 things go its way for them to get into the national championship. Is it as high as 15?
It's not more than 15.
I don't know if I can get you 15. I'll be quite honest with you. 10 would be stretching it for me. In the next 5 years, for me to find 10 teams that I would feel confident about saying they can win a national championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard.
And
that's just not the case with basketball.
3 or 4 come from the SEC.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Florida, Georgia, LSU, Auburn, Texas A&M.
Texas A&M's not winning a national championship, Hunt.
They can.
How? How can
keep recruiting like crazy?
They've been recruiting for a long time. They hadn't won one since.
They weren't recruiting at this level.
1939.
They weren't recruiting at a top 7
and
level.
Since 1939, they haven't been?
I doubt it.
They've had Heisman winners.
Well, that's one guy.
I'm saying they've recruited star players. Mike Evans out there, one of the best students in the NFL.
Everybody's got one good player.
Well, I'm saying I can point to the players that they have and they've had. What makes you think Texas A&M in the next 5 years
because the only ingredient they don't have is past success. They have everything that predicts future success.
They haven't even been to a championship game in the Big 12 or the SEC.
Mm-hmm. I believe they're on a different level than they were in 2010.
Why?
Because they were in the Big 12. They're a little brother. Now they're not.
Okay, we'll disagree on that one.
Of course we do.
I don't think Auburn would struggle to win one in the next 5 years.
Yeah, as they're constituted right now with their roster, but the fact of the matter is they've played in that game twice in the last 10 years. So,
I'm much more Auburn could be there before.
So for me to take them out, I think it's being disingenuous. Eventually, you're just going to whittle it down to Clemson, LSU, and Alabama. I mean, I'm just not going to go there. I think, you got to get the right coach and you've got to get the right mix. But, Florida State looks like a long way away, but they were in the playoff 2 years in a row pretty recently. I mean, it's possible. I'm not going with likely. I'm going with possible.
Okay.
Likely, we're cutting this thing way down.
Just the Texas A&M, I will not get there until we see them play in Atlanta. We see them play in Atlanta, that will change my opinion.
I hope not. That'll make me sad.
All right. We'll take a break. More to come. Hang with Hester, presented by Richard Honda.
Hangin' with Hester, with Jacob Hester. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
"318" means 3-1 great. Hangin' with Hester with Jacob Hester. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. Hanging with Hester, presented by Richards Honda. Something, Hunt, that we've talked about in the past is what to do with California, right? And Pac-12 and the schools out there. And when it comes to them being able to get out on the football field if they didn't have classes, well, USC recommends online classes, so no campus residence. And that just continues to be a talking point when it comes to getting back on the field. How can you do it if the students are not on campus? Do you think that's going to have to correlate with each other? They have to be on campus to be able to have practice on campus, to be able to play games on campus. Even we're not talking fans. Fans right now, like as much as I want that to be a thing, like right now, obviously that is going to be secondary to getting on the field. But a lot of people that don't normally deal in the sports world, they've raised the question, how can you allow these athletes to play if they're not even allowed to be living on campus?
I don't think it has to correlate. I think you can still practice if the conference and the NCAA say it's okay to practice. Every school's different with where people live. At LSU, a lot of times the freshmen are in a certain spot, and then you have the ability to move off if you want to, but there's housing if you want to live on campus. I think if the athletic powers that be determine that you can practice, then you can practice, even if the campus isn't allowing people to live there. I think those are different things. Coming into an environment where there's testing and protocols in place, and you can do so, quote unquote, safely, as opposed to living somewhere the entire time, is just a little bit different. So I would say it doesn't necessarily have to go hand in hand.
Well, then the idea always comes up, okay, well, why don't you do like Major League Baseball is doing? You're going to play teams that are in your division and then the teams that are in the other league in that division, so you stay in the same area. Why don't they do that in college football? And college football scheduling is just so much different, because even if you tried to play within your same conference, right? Well, the Big 12 schools, West Virginia is not very close to any of those schools. Missouri is not close to anyone outside of Arkansas in the SEC. When they realigned everything, well, Nebraska is not close to Ohio State. Realignment, well, that kind of changed that idea of being able to do that.
Yeah, I don't think that's on the table right now. I did a radio spot up with the guys in Shreveport yesterday on 11:30, and they said, well, what's the deal with just playing conference games? And as far as I know, all I've heard, we're planning on playing this whole thing as is. And once you're told you can't do that, then you adjust, but that hasn't happened. And we're creeping forward. So I have confidence that these scenarios have been discussed.
Yeah.
But in terms of putting things in place to do them, I haven't heard a word about that.
That would be one of the most difficult things to do, is when you have these games, and so many games are money games for a lot of these schools, because even if you don't have a home and home and it's between two Power Fives, but one of the Power Fives is much weaker. Let's throw a game out there. If LSU was playing Rutgers, right? Well, Rutgers is going to expect some money from that game, and those type of games wouldn't be able to happen. So even school like Rutgers, who's in the Power Five, well, they still count on some of these money games. And then if you miss them, if you cut 3 games off the schedule, well, if I'm LSU, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't get that Texas return trip. Or if I'm, whatever team that has that return trip that's coming back to their home stadium, because a lot of these teams, we know, of course, neutral site games is a part of it, but a lot of teams are scheduling big time home and home on campus series. And so then you're talking about the contracts of that would be a nightmare. And then you're dealing with travel. There's a lot of people, including our listeners right now, that have already made plans to travel to some games. They've made plans probably to go to the Auburn game, right? They've made plans to go to the Swamp. It's not the best road trip, but a lot of people made plans to go to the Swamp. And so, okay, well, how do you deal with some of those issues?
You're not going to find a drop for Kay that says, I love Gainesville. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
You almost
I
did
like
it.
Tuscaloosa. Yeah, you can find that one. Yeah, that the Swamp, not as much fun. Somebody's going to have to make this call here in the next couple of weeks. They have done everything they can to create the slow resumption of normal activities, to ramp up to camp, to ramp up to play the game September 4th or 5th or whatever it is. Somebody's going to have to tell them to stop if that's going to be the case. And I don't know who's going to do that, and certainly it hasn't been done yet. My gut tells me we're playing. It's just the way I feel.
I think we're playing. If it's thrown a curveball, if you're throwing a curveball, what is that curveball going to be? The NFL? Well, they're getting rid of a couple of preseason games,
which may never come back. But
thank goodness. The 4 was unnecessary.
Well, 2 of them are worthless. You're trying to find your gunner on the kickoff team.
The 1st and the 4th are worthless. I'll give you. Completely agree with you there. And so that's really the first change that they've made. That's a significant change that the NFL's made. So I wonder what that change is going to be. What are teams and universities willing to give up? The Penn State athletic director said, spring season is the absolute last resort, because then you start talking about scheduling and all the spring sports and all the events that you have on campus in the spring that you don't have the the time, you don't have the resources maybe to do a fall sport in the spring. And there's a lot of conversations that could come to play. So, what's the curveball going to be? Because there's going to be something.
Here's where, we come on here and we do some research and we talk about different topics, and generally speaking, we have a point or a take or an argument or a thought. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have anything to add to this what if that we've been playing for 4 months. I just don't. I'm so hopeful that we are going to resume and play football and eventually get back to normal, but you just don't know anything. And I just don't know what to say. I don't have a great point to make other than they're getting ready, they're working out, and hopefully when toe does meet leather here in September and we start playing. I'm sitting up here watching sports be played right here.
Yeah.
And I'm also watching, these guys, they just scored a goal about 10 minutes ago, and when I was pointing, you thought I was caring about the goal. Newsflash, I didn't care about the goal. I was looking at how all the players were hugging each other and high-fiving, and they were in a big huddle of 5 or 6 people. Now I realize they're getting tested all the time. I guess they just but baseball's saying no high fives and whatnot. But it looks like there are people who are trying to make this thing work, and I'd rather take that as a positive and look at the cool courts that they're putting out in Orlando. It looks like an AAU tournament. Than say, hey, what do you think about that UTSA game? You're gonna play that game? We get Texas coming? Is anyone gonna go to the game? I can't do it anymore.
What did you scream 6 weeks ago? Something about someone eating a bat.
Well, it's just the whole continent over there. I've had enough of Asia. I just don't need it. It's killing me. We can't eat eating bats.
Hot takes from Hunt Palmer.
I'm frustrated.
All right. Before we take our last break of the show, Hunt wants to tell you about something that doesn't frustrate him. That's Hungry Howie's.
At all. Hungry Howie's is awesome. It's so good because they make the dough fresh in the store every single day, unlike the other pizza flavors. You get that free flavored crust. Just means more to them over at Hungry Howie's. Ripping that one a little bit from the SEC. We like that. Best deal going right now in the pizza game. 3 medium one-topping pizzas for just $15 with that free flavored crust. Again, there's no better deal in pizza. And if you're looking for a job because something's not working out during COVID, Hungry Howie's is rocking and rolling. They're hiring. Apply at hungryhowies.com. Delivery drivers make $15 to $20 an hour. You can have a car. Make sure you're insured. If you don't have a car, you don't have insurance, go get in shape. Drive their Hungry Howie's e-bikes around and deliver around campus. Good for the environment. Earn some great money and pedal Hungry Howie's flavored crust pizza.
All right, there it is. Hungry Howie's, hungryhowies.com, the Hungry Howie's app, and 761-HOWIE. All right, we'll take our final break. When we come back, we're going to answer your questions. Ask us to finish up this week's editions of Hangin with Hester, presented by Richard Honda.
Hangin with Hester with Jacob Hester. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Richards Honda is constantly looking for smart ways to make things easier for you. So we created our buy from home option. It's the easiest, most convenient way to shop for a car, all from the comforts and safety of your own home. Just log on to richardshonda.com, click on the buy from home button, and with a few simple steps, your new or pre-owned car will be ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. It's fast, easy, and smart. Try it today at richardshonda.com.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, welcome back to Hangin' with Hester with Jacob Hester. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 1130 The Tiger.
Don't ask me. I'm asking.
Ask her, Lucky. Go ahead, ask her. Ask us.
Ask away.
He just kept asking. Oh, I just assumed he'd ask Jake.
Hey, Happy.
Really? Halloween would do that?
For you, he would.
All right, here we go. First one. Ask us. More excited about hanging with Hanny or new chairs? I never really minded the chairs. If I have to stand up the whole show, I'm okay with that. I'm really excited about Hanny coming on the show and, bringing a little bit different viewpoint to the show.
For sure. Last 4 minutes of Hanging with Hester ever.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh,
Today
man.
is the last.
That's it.
Hanging with Hester before it turns into Hanging with Hester and Hanny. You're exactly right. All right, ask Cade. Did you beat Gordy in a 40-yard dash to keep the huddle alive?
No, but it was close. It was a close competition. It was not a 40-yard dash, though.
Gordy would stretch for about 45 minutes to get ready for that 40-yard dash, just from experience playing over 30 intramural or co-ed.
I saw him play, a soccer game, and there was tons of stretching, great gear, great kit.
Really, gear, the cleats,
from top to bottom.
The headband.
Yeah. On point.
Ask Hunt, favorite bat recipe.
Stupid bats. We can't eat eating bats.
It's true. Already dropped. Ask Jake, if football is canceled for the fall, will you be joining Flynn for the month of September to watch every stage of the Tour de France? Of course. Yeah, look, if we're not football, I'm going to be watching all sports, Greg. I will be all invested in it. Like a lot of people right now that never watched soccer in their life are starting to actually watch soccer.
One James Ott.
We got to work on some of the names of the soccer clubs.
Tottenham?
That's not it. So it's Tottenham, but we'll work on it. It's okay. We'll be there.
Got some good golf coming in the fall. Hopefully baseball's rocking and rolling, but we need football.
Who you got this weekend? Rocket Mortgage?
This weekend I picked Bryson DeChambeau in my fantasy golf league because he's playing really well, but we'll see how that goes. I don't know what he did today. I'm going to check. I don't really like him.
Ask us, could the weapons on LSU's offense in 2020 be better than last year? It's going to be hard. Like, as an overall group, what they had last year was special because everybody did something a little bit different. But that's not to say that they are going to struggle by any means offensively, because you still have the best receiver in the country coming back. You're going to have Terrace Marshall for a full season. I would have loved to seen his numbers if he would have played a full slate, because he was a target that Joe Burrow absolutely trusted in the red area. And he's a little bit different than the other receivers on the roster. So I'm excited about that. Clyde gave you so much at the running back position. What's the trio of backs that we think will play going to look like? That's a big question mark. Thaddeus Moss was a big part of the offense. What's that going to look like? Is Eric Gilbert going to be ready to take that role from day one? So there's some question marks. The talent, though, Hunt, there is still a ton on the offense side of the football.
The offense can be worse and still be awesome.
Oh, for sure.
So, I think it will be worse than awesome.
Ask us, any tiers for the final 2-hour Hangin with Hester? No, I'm excited about adding another hour. Lunchtime gives you more opportunities to get in more cars. People going to lunch.
Yeah. I don't
coming back from lunch.
I'm not shedding any tears. I'm going to the beach.
Hester,
we can't eat eating bats.
You can't be eating bats.
It's one of my best takes ever.
Hester, Hangin, and Hunt, Triple H.
That's correct. That's why I'm getting. It's only because of the alliteration is why I get to keep contributing.
Ask Ott, what are the odds on Brennan winning the Heisman? I think he's 20-1 right now.
Throw some coin at it.
I think he's 20-1. It's not the 200-1 that Sir Joseph Burrow was at one time, but 20-1 is still pretty good odds. Ask us, will Haney still allow Ask Us? I think so. I think Haney, we talked about it. He enjoys it. Look, Haney's been great. Haney's been fantastic. We've met a couple of times already. He's got some ideas. I've got some ideas. He loves some of the stuff we're doing. I love some of the stuff he was doing. So it's going to be a fantastic show. I cannot wait. 20 more seconds of Hanging with Hester as we know it.
Look, I have seen the internet's a mean place, and I've seen nothing but positive thoughts on the new show. So I think it's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
All right, so we're taking the holidays, so enjoy your 4th of July. We'll be back on Monday hanging with Hester and Haney.
We can't eat eating bats.
Hey there, it's Anna for Custom Security Systems.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111, your law firm for a lifetime.